Yo, what's happening guys? EVO 5 is on the ramps. That can only mean one of two things. Either she's broke or she's getting goodies. And it seems to be both. She is broke slightly. She's leaking a little bit of coolant from the bottom of the radiator. So it's broke in that sense, but the normal thing to do probably would be, you know, just replace what's broken and put it back to standard. But we're not going to do that. We've got a heck of a lot of goodies. This one being the Big Daddy KOYORAD. We're going for a new uprated radiator. We've got some Mitsubishi bits, we've got the hoses, we have got an electric fan which I'm hoping I don't actually need to use, because I would rather put the stock fan back in, if you can see that there, but we're pretty close on room down here if the camera shows. So with the radiator being a lot fatter, I don't know if that is going to work with each other. So we've got the electric slim fan, just in case we've got to fit it, we can fit it. And little bits and bobs, we've got the coolant, it's going in. We're using the truck as a work top again. Yeah, unfortunately she's been leaking coolant and it's something we cannot really risk. It's only leaking a little bit, so in theory I could just keep topping it up. I'll insert a clip now of where it's leaking from. It took me a while to figure out where it was leaking from, and that's why I've condemned the radiator. Right, quick little video to show you where she's leaking from. Or not, that's not actually where she's leaking from. This is how I figured out it was leaking. It just started pouring out green down here. So naturally I was thinking, oh, it's just like a lower pipe, or maybe the coupler came loose. But I did a bit more investigation and I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you, but basically the leak is actually coming from around here, the bottom of the radiator. More so like here. Yeah, that's where it's actually leaking from. If you can see, there's some coolant there. It's not a lot, I'll be honest, but it ain't good. So, you know, I was hoping it would just be the pipe or the coupler. Turns out it isn't. It took me a while to figure that out. It just kept dripping from here, so I was like, it's got to be this. I've changed the coupler, wiped it, and then I just saw it all trickling down from the top, and that's what made me realise. So yeah, unfortunately I believe the rad is knackered, so that's why we've got a new one. So yeah, it's just not good having a leaky radiator, so we're going to replace it and we're upgrading to a much bigger one while we're at it. So I've just done a little bit of prep before we do the coolant job itself, the radiator job. Battery's out, intake's out, because we're taking off this coolant pipe, replacing it with new piping, and it's probably doable without taking the intake out, but to make life a bit easier, we'll just get it out of the way. It's 2 minutes of a job. So next step will be take off the cap to release any pressure in the system, and we're gonna drain the coolant from the bottom. Just here under the radiator is your drain plug. You want to unloosen that and drain all your coolant out into a tray of some sort. I'm hoping this is big enough. There's probably about 5 litres of fluid in your radiator in these EVOs, so get something that's at least 5 litres capacity. Okay, now that you've done that, I'm going to drop the rad hose on the bottom, and anything left in the system will probably pour out again, so have your catch can ready. So now the lower radiator hose is disconnected, we'll get the top of it disconnected, which is this one, connects to your thermostat. Just pull this back, don't drop your pliers in the water. Give it a good wiggle. Yeah, you're probably going to get some more coolant coming out of here, so have just a little towel ready to catch anything that's gone. I mean, it doesn't matter if it drips off, but just to catch anything that's going to fly out. Alright, well, nothing flew out, which is good. I was expecting it to. And then just pull your hose up, and that's the lower rad to the thermostat disconnected. Next, we'll get the upper one disconnected. There might be a bit of coolant in there, like I say, so have your rag ready to catch anything that's going to pour out all over your engine mount and maybe in your turbo. Now I've said that, I'm going to just put a rag in the turbo inlet so I don't get any water going in. Yeah, I'll just get a bit of blue cloth, stick it in there so we don't have any issues. Have the clip on the top. Just pull that back. Now mine actually has there's no gauge in the cabin, but obviously in Japan they used to fit like a temperature gauge, and this is what the other end of this would have been in the cabin somewhere. So I'm actually going to keep this just in case I want to fit one myself. It has got a temperature gauge in the dash, but they used to fit electronic gauges, so I'm going to keep that. It's not worth throwing. If I ever want to put a gauge in the future, you basically just put this in between your coolant pipes. You can get both sides of this hose off. There's not much leaking out of that end. If these haven't been off in a while, they'll be stuck on there like. So wiggle gets them off. Okay, that's the upper rad hose out. Okay, so I think now it's time to remove the radiator itself. Don't forget to unplug your electric fan, because that won't be coming, well, unplug the wiring loop, because that won't be coming with it. Put that to the side. And I believe the only thing holding it in are these 13mm bolts. So let's get them out. And now, if I'm correct in what I'm saying, give this a little wiggle. Yep, and she'll come out. Let's just make sure we clear everything before we start ragging. And pull her out. Here she is in all her glory. Wow. First time having a KOYORAD for me. Always liked the look of them, and I heard good things. That's obviously why I went with the KOYORAD. So I'm actually pretty excited about this. That's the front of it, so hopefully you can see it through the grille. If not, no biggie. It's also got, if you can see that, it's got the drain plug at the bottom right, and it's got the, obviously it's ordered for the car, so it's got mounting points for the fan, which is going to be pretty easy for us to just swap over to that. So yeah, it looks really nice. Let's get that fan on and see if it fits. So as you could see, the radiator will not fit with this stock fan shroud. So good job I ordered the Mitsubishi one. I've snipped the wiring loom off the original fan. It's a 4 plug, but Mitsubishi is a 2 plug, but it's just 2 blues and 2 blacks. So I basically joined the 2 blacks together, the 2 blues together, and then put blue and black together. Soldered it up. I'm gonna get some duct tape around this later once I've test fitted everything, and when I'm happy I will duct tape it all and make it look a little bit nicer. Duct tape it, sorry, or insulation tape, electrical tape, to make it look nicer. So we'll get it mounted to the new KOYORAD. So radiator's all mounted in. Before I put the pipes on and obviously fill the coolant, I have also bought a new thermostat, because while you're at it you might as well change it. So there's 2 30mm bolts, one here and one underneath about here, I don't know if you can see that, holding it in. And I also might take that off, it's sort of in the way. That's a 10mm. I'll take that off, get the old thermostat out and put a new one in, because it's just like preventive maintenance really. You might as well do it while you're in there. Okay, so thermostat fitted. Now we'll get the radiator hose in. Now time for the top one. So everything's together radiator wise. Still got the intake to put on, but I'm going to fill the radiator now with coolant. I've got this Mitsubishi adapter. Easy to sort of bleed your coolant system. Okay, got it filled up. This should rise. We're going to start the car, bleed the system, and hopefully we've got our fan wiring all as it should be. Turn the temp all the way up. Fan all the way up. And once this gets up to temperature, I'd like to see this start sort of coming down. All the bubbles should release from the system, basically purging it out. So she's been running for about 25-30 minutes. The level's gone right down. I've been watching it bubble away for a bit. Temp gauge is like bang on halfway. Fan works, heaters are blowing hot. Took a while for that thermostat to open up. For ages it was just like cool, regular temperature. It wasn't getting hot, so I was a bit worried. But now, touch, yeah, it's red hot. Okay, I think it's time to knock her off, guys. This kit comes with a handy dandy sort of stop plunge that you can put in, and when you take this off, the coolant won't fall through and spill everywhere. I think we'll let her, in fact we'll let her cool down and then we'll go for a test drive, and hopefully, I mean I'm pretty confident there's no leaks anywhere. Both the pipes are red hot, so overall happy. So final touch, new KOYORAD radiator cap, high pressure radiator cap. Can handle more pressure than the OEM, not that it really matters, but coolant's full. She's like right at the top, almost perfect. Oh yeah, wow, it's crazy, that actually finishes it off quite nice. So here's the final product, KOYORAD Mitsubishi hoses, and I'm really pleased with how it looks next to the HKS intake, both with the chrome. I think the chrome is just JDM, like it's just the JDM style. I think it looks sort of timeless on these older cars. I probably wouldn't put anything chrome on something modern, but on the JDM stuff looks really nice, so I'm super pleased. That's it for the video. Hope you've enjoyed, hope it's been helpful. Yeah, kind of difficult to get that fan kit on, I'll be honest. I probably would not order this Mitsubishi fan. I'd find a different one that has got mounting points for the KOYORAD mounts, basically, because it comes with them. You want a fan that will fit with those, whereas the Mitsubishi one does not. Sort of a bit crap that, but what can you do? That mounting kit has worked. The fan's not going anywhere, it's solid, so job's done anyway. I'm gonna cable tie this, the wiring loom. Other than that, we're done. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe and leave a like if it's helped you, and put anything in the comments that you might need help with or any advice. I'll be sure to reply. Thank you everybody.